The second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, in the 45th verse, Sri Krishna says, Traigunya Vishaya Veda, Nistraigunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdvandvo Nitya Sattvastho, Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. So he says that Vedaha, the Vedas, there are 4 Vedas. This classification was done by Veda Vyasa. Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda and Atharva Veda. There are 3 kinds of texts in these Vedas. One is prose, another one is poetry, and the third one is song. So Rig Veda contains mainly mantras known as rigs. Yajur Veda contains mainly prose. And Sama Veda contains mainly songs, Gita, which can be sung, and Atharva Veda contains a mixture of all these 3 kinds of texts. So Vedas, Traigunya Vishayaha, they have the subject matter Vishaya as Traigunya. That means that which deals with 3 gunas. There are 3 gunas in this universe, or this universe is made up of 3 gunas: Sattva Guna, Rajo Guna and Tamo Guna. Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So these Vedas also, they deal with this universe, and so they deal with the 3 gunas. Means they deal with something which is in the realm of, in the universe of duality. They deal with good and the evil, they deal with pleasure and pain, they deal with heat and cold, light and darkness, and so on and so forth. So they deal with opposing pairs of reality which we find in this world: beautiful, ugly, etc. So they also deal with a world of ignorance. And so Arjuna, Nistraigunyah Nirdvandvah Nitya Sattvastah Nir Yogakshemah Atmavan Bhava. So Arjuna, even the Vedas deal with the 3 gunas, but how you are supposed to be? You have to be Bhava, you be like this. Like what? Nistraigunya means free from these 3 gunas. There is another word for this, Gunatita, one who is beyond these 3 gunas. That means one who has realized God, one who has realized Atman, one's true nature, and is not bothered about the manifest universe. People, all of you are running after happiness in this world. On the one hand, you are running after the happiness in the world, and on the other hand, you say that I am not getting happiness. Why? Because you are running after wrong ideas in this universe. So you don't get happiness. That is why Swamiji said, dream but truer dreams. So all the dreams which one has is all untrue dreams. Dream about things which are unreal. But Swamiji said, dream but truer dreams. Dream about the real thing, your true nature, the reality which is the basis of the entire universe. So, Nistrai Gunyaha, one has to become free from the 3 gunas. One has to become free from the 3 gunas. These 3 gunas pull you in different directions. Nirdvandvaha, you have to become free from dvandva, means pairs of opposites. Like this pleasure and pain, happiness and sorrow, etc. etc. So it has to, you have to become free from that. And Nitya Satvastha means Nitya constantly, Satvastha balanced, established in existence. Somebody comes and scolds you, you are not disturbed. Somebody comes and praises you, you are not elated. So whatever happens to you, you are in the same sighted, same manner. Same manner. Niryoga Kshemaha. And people are always running after yoga, means getting something, acquiring something. And Kshema, maintaining it and keeping it. So first you want to have bank balance, then you want to ensure that the bank balance is maintained, that you get interest on that bank balance. First you want to have a house, then you want to ensure that that house is maintained. So yoga means acquiring, kshema means maintenance. So you want to acquire and then you want to maintain. That is the cause of all problems. So niryoga kshema, be free from that. Atmavan, be established in the self. So you have to get rid of all this running after pleasures, all this running after these kinds of things. There is another word, meaning for the word guna, which is, guna also means a rope. So these gunas are like ropes. They bind you. They tie you. They create attachment. So is it possible to get rid of all the gunas? What is your name? Is it possible to get rid of all gunas? Have you seen anyone who has done that? Huh? No. Have you seen anyone who has done that? Then how are you so sure it is possible? Huh? Heard about such people. So is it possible? Vin. No? What is your name? Vin.
Yes.
Is it possible to get rid of all the pairs of opposite, fear, pleasure, pain, happiness, misery? Is it possible to go beyond it?
I see.
Have you seen anyone who has gone beyond it?
Not possible for all men.
So many saints, so many rich like Ramakrishna, Swami Narasimhananda. He knows, he very free in this truth, something. I think this is true.
Are you there yet?
No, I'm in this road maybe.
It is not possible for?
All men.
Why?
Because we are mainly family matters.
So in family it is not possible.
Really,
Ah.
it is
You can tell in Bengali, family it is not possible.
family মেথড থেকে আমাদের সবার পক্ষে সম্ভব হয়ে ওঠে না।
It is not because of family or anything. Even if somebody is not having family, is it easy for that person?
Yes, the question is whether I want it or not.
Hmm.
If I want it, then I'll do it.
No. What I am asking is it easier for a person who is not having a family?
I don't think it is like that.
Oh.
Not that way. At most, environment do help, no doubt about it. But it is ultimately the person.
So it's not because of family. So this is the crux. You have to be, if you read Gita again and again, you will understand the crux is that Gita talks about unattachment. You have to be unattached. That's all. You have to be unattached.
Maharaj, this Gita was, these words were uttered by Krishna
Hmm.
to Arjuna,
Hmm.
who was practically Arjuna.
Hmm.
Arjuna was a family.
So Arjuna was a family
So
person.
if that was told to
Arjuna.
family,
Hmm.
so the answer is practically related.
So it is told to a family person. It is not told to a sannyasi. Also, it was not told in an ashrama. It was told in the battlefield. So it is possible. The whole crux of Gita is this. If you understand this, that is why somebody asked Sri Ramakrishna, what is the message of Gita? He said, Gita, if you repeat it backwards, tagi tagi means tyaga, means renunciation, dispassion, detachment. That is the message of the Gita. So here you see, Nistrai Gunyo, you have to go beyond the three gunas. Nirdvandva, you have to be free from the pair of opposites. And you have to be ever balanced. Do you practice it? You said you are in the path. How do you practice it? Practice. How do you practice this?
Practical what?
Practice, practice.
Yes, practical what?
This.
This information. Yes. I think it's important in your whole life. In your life, in your
No, but how do you practice it? How do you do it?
not attachment.
Not having attachment. So how do you do it? In day-to-day life, how do you do it? Not having attachment, how do you do it? What do you do?
I think is if you do, you can try your best, but not attachment is the end. Is victory.
So not try your best for everything, but not getting attached to the results.
Yes.
That is one way. Then suppose somebody comes and scolds you, insults you very badly.
Yes.
Then you have to be smiling. Can you practice?
Depend on the situation, I think.
No, in all situations you have to be smiling.
Maybe some reason a human being not didn't know, but I think this is some reason. The reason I didn't know. So I think you can in some situation you can open this.
No, you cannot. If you have to practice this, then you have to be free from everything. Somebody is coming and insulting you, you should be smiling.
No.
Yes.
Smiling হবে না।
Huh?
Smiling হবে না, হাসবে না, যদি insult করে।
Not laughing, smiling. So, because you are not bothered about the insult, because you don't have any ego, that is why. So you are not able to, even hearing, you are no, I will react. So if you react, that means you have not practiced this. That is the practical aspect. If somebody comes and insults you, you keep quiet.
At that time, you don't smile. You know smile. You angry here.
So that you should not get angry, because your true nature is, a person can insult what? The body and mind. A person can tell you that you are a foolish person, stupid person, or a person can tell you that your body is like that. Only the body or the mind can be insulted. The Atman cannot be insulted. So if you know that you are your true nature, the Atman, then why would you get angry? That is the Nitya Sattvastha, always balanced in your true nature. If you know that I am the true nature, why will you get angry?
মানে এই প্রশ্নটা থেকে একটু আলাদা। অর্জুনকে শ্রীকৃষ্ণ গীতায় মানে ভারত নামে অনেকবার কি করে সম্বোধন করা হয়েছে। significance ki?
No, Bharata means descendant of Bharata.
Acha.
Person who is the descendant of Bharata. So Arjuna or all the Kauravas and Pandavas, everybody is Bharata. So this is what one has to Atmavan. One has to be established in the self. Atmavan. If you are established in the self, then you are not the body, you are not the mind. If you are not the body and the mind, people will insult only the body and the mind. Nobody can insult the self. Can anyone insult the self? No. So if one is bothered about the body and the mind, only then you feel pleasure, pain, etc. Else you will not feel. And this niryoga kshemaha means you should not be bothered about acquiring and preserving. So acquiring is when you say, I have done this, I have done that. It comes from ahankara. It comes from the idea of I. And preserving, this is my house, this is my car. That comes from the idea of mamakara, mine, the idea of mine. So both should not be there, because if you are the Atman, if you are beyond body and mind, so these things also should not make any difference to you. Whether you have something or you don't, should not make any difference to you. So that is the whole idea of the Bhagavad Gita. That you should go beyond all these three gunas of sattva, raja and tama. And you should go beyond what you see this in this apparent world. So you see, most people cannot enjoy if somebody gives you food. Can you enjoy food?
ফুড নিয়ে এনজয় খাওয়া খাওয়া নিয়ে এনজয় ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে কি যে যেন চয়েসেবল পায় সেটা
That's what. You see, you cannot enjoy food also. Why? Because you are always concerned. First thing is, who gave you food? Second is, what food that is. So if some food you have already taken, somebody is giving you, you like it. If some new food is given to you, you don't like it. Some new dish is given to you, you don't like it. So food also you cannot enjoy. Why? Because you are attached to the person, to the place, to the dish, to the taste, etc. And somebody is cooking something and maybe tried something new in the recipe and gave it to you. So you cannot enjoy that also. You cannot understand that there is something new. Why? Because you are so much attached to your thoughts. When you are eating, you are not relishing the food. So without detachment, you cannot also enjoy. If you have to enjoy, even for that you need detachment. Suppose somebody is coming to you now and says, okay, let us go to some place. Can you go? You cannot. You will say, no, I have to go to my house. I have this work, that work, etc. Why? You have attached, you have got attachments. You have got bondages. So you cannot also wander. You cannot do anything freely. And that is again the problem. You see, here Sri Krishna is telling this to Arjuna. Why? Because Arjuna is not fighting the war. Why is Arjuna not fighting the war? Because he is bound by so many ideas, and also because he is afraid. So that is why Arjuna is being told by Sri Krishna that what you are doing is wrong. Why? Because you should not be caught in the pulls and struggles of these different gunas, or you should not think about what will happen to you. In the first chapter, Arjuna says, even if I win this war, there will be nobody to enjoy this victory with, because everyone will die. So even that is a wrong idea. You always be established in the self.
If I'm not attached, what is my incentive of doing any work? Because again, after Bhagavad Gita, maybe Sri Krishna is telling Arjuna, because you are Kshatriya, you fight the war, if you win it, you will rule the country. If you lose it, you will go to heaven. He is also giving some sort of incentive. For practical person, if
is not giving that incentive. He is just telling it for argument's sake. He is not giving incentive. The entire Bhagavad Gita, he is saying that you are not doing. In the 11th chapter also he will say that nimitta matram bhava sarve sasin. You just be the instrument. They have been already killed by me and they have already died. You fight the war and just be the instrument. So only in one place for argument's sake he is saying that even if you die, you will attain to Swarga, and even if you win, you will win. What is this? The kingdom you will enjoy. So that is just for the sake of argument, to make him get out of this despondency, he says. But ultimately Arjuna is not being told this. He is telling constantly. If you see the Bhagavad Gita, he starts his motivation. Sri Krishna is not motivating Arjuna by telling that, you see, you have to win this war. If you win this war, you will get so much of land, etc. In the beginning itself, he is telling that this, in 37th shloka of 2nd chapter, he told that even if you die, you will get heaven, and if you win, then you will enjoy the earth. But before that, since beginning, he says that you are mourning for people for whom nobody should mourn, and this whole body, etc. is unreal. Atman is alone real. All these things he is again and again saying. Usually when we see motivators, they, for example, in a company where targets are not being achieved, people motivate. Yes, you can do this. You have to achieve this. Sri Krishna is not using that language. He is saying all this makes no difference. So you do anyway. So the motivation part is, why should one do action? You should do action to get rid of the suffering in this world. Why are you doing action? Because you did something in the past, maybe in this very birth, with the idea that I am the doer and I am the enjoyer. Whenever somebody does an action with these ideas, then those actions create results. Okay, they create results, and those results will have to be faced, or they will have to be experienced. So you should give up these ideas that you are the doer and the enjoyer, and then what will happen? The results of actions which you have done already, that you will have to experience. If you experience that and exhaust it, then you don't have to come again, you don't have to take birth again, or you don't have to suffer. So the whole goal of doing work is to go beyond suffering. But that would happen only when you are not attached to the results. That being said, you will be able to do better work only when you are not attached to the results. If you are attached to the results, you will not be able to do your best, because then you will always be worried about the result. So when you are worried about the result, you will not be able to perform optimally. That is also another reason. But the motivation for doing work is to get rid of all work. That is the motivation. So if you get rid of all work or all desires, you don't have to take birth again, or you don't have to suffer. So that is the only motivation for, or that should be the only motivation for doing work. If your motivation for doing work is result, then once the result is obtained, you will have further desires. See, even if you take that your motivation for doing work is result, what will happen if the result is obtained? Then you are supposed to be having no motivation, but it doesn't happen so. People, once they create something, then they want to do something else. If they get that something else, they want to do something other than that. So this goes on a chain. So why is that happening? That is also not logical. That is happening because a person has got desires. And as long as one thinks that I am the doer, I am doing it, or I am enjoying it, this will come in cycles. So to get rid of that is the main challenge. And if you get rid of that, then you can do anything, but you will not be affected by the results of those actions. So that is why you see efficient workers. In the Bhagavad Gita there is a phrase yoga karmasu kaushalam, means dexterity in action or skill in action is yoga. Skill in action does not just mean efficiency. It means that you are not attached to the results. Because if you are attached to the results, then you cannot work properly. You cannot work properly. It may sound little paradoxical or contradictory, but it is not. If you are attached to the results, then you will always be pulled by the what happens even in our offices. Suppose somebody is given a target and by the month end you have to finish the target or achieve the target, then the person starts adopting even unethical methods to achieve that target. Why? Because the goal, that person is attached to the result. The goal is to achieve the target. So one gives up everything. That person is only bothered about achieving the target. So there again the same, then that causes further problem. Then to remove that problem you do something else. So it causes further problem. You are bound more and more. You are pulled into this problem. So that is why you have to be free from these bondings. For example, suppose you are given a work, the same work is given to me. Say for instance. So suppose somebody says, in this garden, dig a pit. So you are also digging the pit, I am also digging the pit. But then somebody else comes and says, okay, we don't need the pit, close the pit. So you close the pit, I also close the pit. The difference will be, you will be not happy with that. You will say, why did you ask me to dig the pit? And why did you close the pit? What was the purpose of the pit in the first place? Whereas I am not bothered. So I will just dig the pit. Oh, okay, close the pit. Like that. So there was in the Greek philosophy, there is the name of a person called Sisyphus. So there was this person who used to take a rock and take it up the hill. And after the midday or in the afternoon, he used to push it down. Then the next day he will again take it, whole first half of the day he will take it above and then he will push it down. So all our work is like that. It is futile. Because what are you creating with work? Are you creating anything permanent? Can anyone create something permanent which is real, which is indestructible by doing work?
It depends on the region we are working with.
No. Can you create anything permanent in the sense which will never be destroyed? Is it possible? It is not possible. This earth can be destroyed. So you cannot create anything which is, anything that is created will be destroyed. You cannot create anything which is...
If I'm seeing in the world is going to stay for many more years.
No, I am not saying many more years, etc. I am saying which will remain forever. Like billions of years. Can we create anything? Nothing can be created. No planet is there, nothing, no body, nothing is there which will remain forever. So these are all only relative, means something will remain for a shorter span of time, something will remain for a longer, comparatively longer span of time. But everything will be destroyed. So if that is the case, what are we trying to create? We are not trying to create, we are not creating anything, we are trying to fulfill our desires. So this is a wrong idea we have got. So even if you see from that perspective, in a universe which has taken billions of years to come to this state, you are talking of purchasing a flat which God knows, maybe 20 years afterwards it will be demolished, or 30 years or 40 years. And you are talking about a body which will anyway not stay more than 100 years, if it stays for 100 years. On an average 70 to 80 years it will go anyway. So if that is the case, then why are we making such a fuss about things which will not stay? And why are we not bothered about things which will always stay? Like the only certain thing in your life is death. How much do you think about death? Do you think about death?
ঠাকুরের কথা আছে ঈশ্বর বস্তু আসল অবস্থু শরীরটা দুদিনের জন্য তিনি সত্য শরীর এই আছে এই নেই যখন যখন শরীর
No,
চলে
so many people have said so many things. What do you think?
কিন্তু আনসার্টেন তো কবে কে থাকবে না থাকবে কোনটার কথা বলছি?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, do you think about that? Are you aware of that? Every moment when you work, are you aware of that? You are not. Why?
That makes one very efficient thinking about it.
Huh?
That makes one very efficient thinking about it.
But then why are you not thinking about that? That's what I'm saying.
I have a question in this regard. It's like death is certain, life is also certain.
Life is not certain.
Till the time I am not dead, I am alive.
No, life is not certain.
Till the time I am not dead.
নিজেদের
No,
ভালোবাসা
but you don't know when, till what time, no?
Fine, but then my senses will stop. I don't need to bother about it. Once I am dead,
Huh.
I don't have to take care about myself, my body.
Huh.
But till the time I don't have to. I have to feed myself. Death is not going to feed me till the time I am alive.
No, but you are not feeding your body. You are feeding your mind. Is everyone working only so much that what one needs for sustaining one's body?
No,
So
but that is
that is also
also important.
important, but feeding the body is also important, correct? But is everyone working only for that? So if everyone is working only for taking care of the body, then one need not work so much or one need not run so much. But everyone is running. Why? And you're talking about taking care of the body. You tell me, in today's world, how many people take care of the body? Everyone is suffering from lifestyle diseases, everyone is suffering from cardiac problems, everyone is suffering from diabetes, etc. So if it was taking care of the body, nobody is doing that.
Only Ramdev is doing that.
No, nobody is doing that. So if nobody is doing that, that means they are not doing, once they are not, so even that logic what you're saying is not happening. Contentment is not coming. Why? So even in your life, are you content with just what is necessary for maintaining the body? You are not. Why? No. It's not just about perfection. It is about having a clarity in life. It's not just perfection. So you are not clear about what life means to you. You see, how many people can spend time with people? Tell me. How many people spend time with people? Their family, friends, etc. Not virtually. Physically. How many people can?
মাইন্ডটাকে কেন পিস রাখা নেই সকলের সঙ্গে মিলেমিশা করা হয়
No. Who mixes with people? Nobody mixes with people. Who has time to mix with people? Is there any person who actually goes to people and mixes with them? Where is it happening? When you go to somebody's house, that means you have some work for that person. You want something from that person, so you go to that person's house. Do you go to somebody's house just like that? Or do you call somebody to your house just like that? There is no festival, there is no occasion, just come, let us chat, like that. How much of that sort of meeting is done? Or how many people do that? If at all, very few. Why?
ধ্যান দেওয়ার ব্যাপার থাকে সেই জন্য
So why? That's what I'm saying. So you see, you need more than what you acquire, more than what you actually need. You keep more than what you need. A person does not need a big mansion to stay. A person does not need crores or lakhs of rupees to just live. But you acquire and keep. So it is not just because you want to maintain the body. But here it is told nir-yoga-kshema, even maintaining the body. You think that you are maintaining the body, but are you maintaining the body? A person has got so much of wealth, but that person's body is not properly functioning. Will the wealth help that person's body to be to become normal. It will never happen. Why? Because this has got no connection. You may have wealth, but you may not have health. You may have wealth and health, but you may not have mental peace. So they are totally unconnected. Unless you have a attitude of surrender, you cannot have peace. It's impossible. So that's why here Sri Krishna is not saying, okay, you should have body, so you should maintain the body, etc. He's not saying. He's saying niryoga kshema. That means be free from acquiring and maintaining. That means that will be provided for. If you have a body, food will be provided for, even if you don't worry about that. That's what. So you think that I do everything. That is because of ego. You cannot do anything. Nobody can do anything. This particular body-mind complex of a human being or any living being is inefficient, incapable of doing anything. If it were not true, dinosaurs would not have become extinct. Dinosaurs have become extinct. So dinosaurs would have lived. There would have been no ice age, nothing. So all these things happened because it is beyond a living being to actually create something. Are we creating something? We take stone, mud and make some combination and make a house and say we have created a house. We are not creating. So that is play. So you have free time, so you do all these things. Like you have those building blocks, Lego blocks, and you make things out of that. But the basic building block is not yours. You did not make that. So that is why here this is also important. Niryoga kshema. That means even maintenance of my body, I should not bother about, because anyway I am not the person who is doing it. Suppose
that we cannot stay without working. Something every moment we are doing something. Something is being done. Now, Krishna says that I am directing you to work, and you are working for my direction. What I have already settled, you are going by that way. At times, not at times, almost every time, we come at a crossroad, that do this or not to do this, or do this or do that. Now, how can we find the intention of Krishna that this is his will and this is not?
No, the crossroads come because of our ego. Crossroads come because of our ego or desires. If we had no desires or if we had no ego, we never would have got this dilemma of whether to do this or to do that. But whenever that dilemma comes, we have to decide based on the fact whether this activity will take me closer to my true nature or to God.
When we speak about me, then ego comes.
No, me means whether, ego comes, but that ego is a fainter ego. Okay, so ego means, one ego is I am doing everything, I am the doer, I am the enjoyer. The other ego is I am a child of God, I am Brahman. There are two types of ego, which Sri Ramakrishna also says, Kajami, Pakami, ripe ego and unripe ego. So this ripe ego, this is an ego which says that okay, if I do this, will it take me closer to God or closer to my true nature? Or will it take me away from my true nature or God? If
you hear that Kacha ego.
No, this ego, whenever you are in a case of dilemma, you have to decide this. Whether you are going nearer to God by doing a particular thing or going away from God. So whatever takes you closer to God, whatever takes you away from ego, that is what you have to do. That is what you have to do. See, Sri Krishna has said that nimitta matram bhava sabbe sache. So we have to work all the time. All the time we have to work. Akarmakrit whatever has born, akarmakrit na tishtati, will not stay without work. That Sri Krishna says in the Gita. So whichever being has born will do something. But that work, are we doing with the idea that I am the doer and I am the enjoyer, or are we doing as an instrument without attaching oneself to the results? If one does it without attaching oneself to the results and without any attachment to the idea of being a doer or enjoyer, then that person will have no problem. And that will be the last birth of that person. So that is what Sri Krishna is again and again hinting at. You do work, but do it selflessly, without any selfish motive. Anyway, you have to do work. Without work, you cannot stay. But whatever work you are doing, that you do it selflessly. Actually, it is very easy. You see, if you want to do japa, then you have to sit and you have to do japa. If you want to do some activity, you have to take a plan, etc. and do activity. But here, whatever you are asked to do, or whatever you are supposed to do at that particular moment, do without expecting any results.
I am not just saying that. My question is this. Arjuna was at the crossroad of whether he will fight the battle or he will not. Now, had Krishna not been there, who would teach him that this is your course of action?
That everyone knows. Everyone has got something called conscience inside. So a person, when you tell lie, you know that you are telling the lie. Everyone knows that.
But he was like befooled by that conscience only, because he was thinking not doing the war was the right thing.
No, he was not befooled. You see, Sri Krishna gave this teaching of Bhagavad Gita. But who fought the war? Arjuna fought the war. Sri Krishna did not. He told him that you are now confused, so you fight the war. But later on, Arjuna only understood and he fought the war. So, even when he is telling that I will not fight them, he knows in his heart of hearts that what I am saying is foolish. Whatever, that is why Swamiji says in one place, whatever makes you weak, throw it as poison. So, you see, Arjuna, if he was knowing that what he is saying is true, then Gandivam Sramsate Hastat, that would not have happened. Gandiva, his bow, would not have slipped from his hand. That slipped from his hand, he became weak. Mukham cha parishashyati, means his body was burning, his mouth became dry. All these things happened because he knew that what he is doing is wrong. Means not fighting the war is wrong. And that is why he became weak.
Moreover, he was not confused by the consciousness, he was confused by the ego.
He was confused, no, conscience, I did not say.
Sorry, conscience.
So he was confused by the ego and also he was afraid. So that is why he felt weak. So whenever you find yourself weak, understand that the path is wrong. Simple. Whatever makes you weak is wrong. If something makes you weak, that means that is wrong. Nobody feels stronger by telling a lie. Nobody. Apparently on the exterior one may act like that, but in fact if you tell a lie, you feel weak. So that's why Swamiji says, throw that which weakens you as poison. Reject it as poison, because it weakens you means it is wrong. So even if, see, many people have not read the Bhagavad Gita. There are many people who have not read the Bhagavad Gita. But those people also have an idea of what is right and what is not. What is righteous and what is not righteous, unrighteous. How did they get this idea? They get this idea, even a small child who has not, an infant, who has not gone to school or has no learning, also knows that this is not correct and this is not good. How? Because you see, everyone in reality is the Atman. And the Atman knows this is that which will strengthen me, and this is which will weaken me. So anything that takes you towards your true nature of Atman will automatically be considered as right. So people steal, but they are not happy with that, you see. People will, that is why towards the end of one's life, they will say, I have done so many things for earning money, now I want to be little peaceful. Why do they say that? Because they have not adopted righteous means to earn money. They maybe were corrupt, they were probably cheating people, etc., dishonest. So then towards the end of their life they say, no, I have done enough, now I will take some retirement, or I will just talk about spiritual things or think about spiritual things. Whereas a person who has since birth not followed the path of unrighteousness does not have this problem. Will not have this problem, because that person is not weak. Because that person knows that I have done whatever I have done properly. In the sense, I have not kept my ego in front, but I have kept the cause or the work in front. So if you work like that, you will not have this problem. Many people have this problem. So this actually Sri Krishna also tells in another place in the Bhagavad Gita, Hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati yantra aruda mayaya. Yantra arudani mayaya. So I sit in every Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra arudani mayaya. So I, take everyone around just like a person operates means a person who is sitting in front of on a machine is being operated. Yantra aruda means one who is sitting on a machine. So I am directing everyone. He says, Brahmayan sarva.
He is playing with himself.
Yeah, you can take it like that, but I am what Sri Ramakrishna says, Jontro Jontri. So we are all Jontro, or we are all instruments in the hand of God. Who is the person who is so that question that what if Sri Krishna is not there now? Arjuna had Sri Krishna. What about other people? So the idea is that no, everyone has Sri Krishna inside. Hriddeshe Arjuna tishtati. I sit in the heart. Heart means not the biological heart, but there is supposed to be a spiritual heart. So I sit in the spiritual heart of everyone. I am there and I am driving them. So Sri Krishna is all the time, or the ultimate principle or God is always there. Now the question is whether you are following that person or not. Arjuna was not meeting Sri Krishna for the first time. He grew up with Sri Krishna. But he had to be given this sermon of 18 chapters or 700 shlokas. Even then afterwards he forgets. So that means this is, even if Sri Krishna comes and tells you, will you be able to take that message is also another thing. And so Sri Krishna is there in everyone, but are we able to take that message? We are unable to. That is the bigger problem here. Sri Krishna is there, but we are not able to take the message. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat.